Welcome back, guys. All we're going to do in this video is 3 quick problems to help us put into practice the properties that we just learned about. So let's start with our first problem. Our first problem says to use properties to find 4 times 23 times 25. And it starts us off with 23 times blank times 25. Well, what number are we going to fill in that blank based on our instructions? 4. What property of multiplication did we use that we learned about in our video? Was it commutative property, associative property, or identity property? That's right. We used the commutative property because we just changed the order of our numbers, right? So we're going to fill that blank in. Now let's move down. It looks like it wants us to group our numbers in a different way. So if we have 23 times blank, what 2 numbers are we left to choose from? 4 and 25. What order would you like to put them in? It doesn't really matter, right? We'll just drop down the same order. Even though we didn't change the order of our numbers, we changed the grouping of our numbers. So what property of multiplication are we using to solve this problem? Commutative, associative, or identity? That's right, the associative property. So it wants us to solve the 2 numbers in the parentheses. So we have 23 times blank. So let's multiply 25 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Have our 0, carry our 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2, 10. So what are we going to fill in that blank? 100. Now, we have 23 times 100. And if you can remember from last year, I think you learned a trick that any times we multiply by a 10 or 100 or 1,000, we look at how many zeros we have, and that's how many zeros we add to our first number. So if we're multiplying by 100, how many zeros are we going to add to 23 to get our answer? 2. So 23 times 100 is 2,300. And we use the commutative property to rearrange our numbers, and then the associative property to regroup our numbers in the process of solving that problem. So let's move on to our second problem. It says 9 times 30 plus 7. And you can see that they started to rearrange it for us, and they grouped 9 times blank plus 9 times 7. Let's think about what property they're trying to get us to use in order to solve this problem. Our options are commutative, associative, identity, or the distributive property. Which one do you think we're using? That's right, the distributive property. So we are taking this 9 and distributing it inside the parentheses so that we can get 9 times what number? 30 plus 9 times 7, which they distributed that 9 to those parentheses. That's us using the distributive property. Problem 3 says 0 plus blank equals 47. What plus 0 equals 47? That's right. 0 plus 47 is 47. What property of addition did we talk about that was like that? Any number plus 0 equals itself. Was that the commutative, associative, or identity property of multiplication? Awesome job, y'all. That was the identity property. So this is just how we can solve problems using those properties of both addition and multiplication that we talked about. Y'all have a couple of questions in your assignment below. Have a great day.